Hello and welcome to Guitars for Bars. I'm your host James. I've got just enough hardener left over from the Solo V and the Jackson V to get started on the BC Rich. So I'm going to work on the neck. I've got my primer mixed up. It's doing its 30-minute induction period right now. So it'll be ready to spray in about 20 minutes. I've got the neck all taped up. I've got the fretboard taped up. Obviously I'm going to spray primer along the very edge of the fretboard. A dowel rod taped to it so I can lift it up in order to spray the headstock, the front of it. If you've seen any of the videos before about this one, you know that I cut some off the headstock there because it was just too massive, and this BC Rich Beast is neck heavy. And I don't like that when I'm playing, trying to hold the neck up instead of playing. So I'm making adjustments to the body and the headstock to balance the thing out a little bit. Alright, if you watch my other videos, you'll know that the trigger sticks on this thing. I haven't had a chance to clean it yet. Once I'm out of hardener on this thing, then I'm going to break everything down and clean everything for when I get started again, because it's going to be about a month before I start painting again. Alright, that's one coat, and let that sit 20 minutes or so and then do another coat. I moved things around a little bit so hopefully you can see better, and I know I can see better. I didn't have enough light. So we're going to give this another coat, and that's probably going to be it. I moved things around a little bit so hopefully you can see better, and I know I can see better. I didn't have enough light. So we're going to give this another coat, and that's probably going to be it. Had a little piece of lint or something stuck in it I had to get out. Primer is basically just glue to hold the paint on. So I got one thin coat and one medium coat on there, and that should be enough since it's the neck. So we're going to call it quits on the primer and let that sit 2 hours, and then we're going to do the paint. It's been 2 hours. Now I'm going to load this thing up with a whole bunch of coats of green paint. I'm going to put way more on than I need because I'm going to sand it before I do the clear. I'm not going to try to do the primer, paint, clear thing tonight. It's just primer and paint, and then I'll sand everything smooth and then do the clear and some sparkle on the headstock on another day. So I'm just going to show you this first coat. Alright, I'm going to let that sit 20 minutes to a half an hour and do that as many times as I can. 6, maybe 8, maybe 10, because then I'm going to sand it all smooth before I put the clear on it. I got 6 coats on this thing now, and absolutely no idea how I'm going to get the tape off the fretboard while it's wet, because there's nowhere to hold on to it. So I reckon I'll just wait till it dries a little bit, a couple hours maybe, 4 to 6 at the most. I got to get it off while it's still relatively fresh, otherwise I got real problems. Got one little booger back there in the back of the neck, one little booger in the back of the headstock, and I think there's one on the front of the headstock, but it's all going to get sanded. It's going to get a coat of clear, and I'll probably paint some kind of fret markers on there, and the front is probably going to get glitter. The green paint on the headstock flattened out real nice. The 6 coats I put on it day before yesterday. I have this color glitter that's going to be going on it, and I've got some lighter color green that's going to go underneath it. It doesn't really match the glitter, but there's going to be enough of the glitter on there to where it's going to look fine. I just wanted this color to be a little bit lighter than that is, because that's just too dark. So I'm going to use the airbrush and spray about 2 coats of this on there, let it dry for an hour or so, and then do the clear and the glitter. And even though it's a small amount of paint, this stuff is still a very serious health hazard, so I will be wearing my mask again today. Okay, I'll let that sit for 20 minutes and give it another coat. I'm back for the second coat. I wanted it level while it dried, so I jacked it up on that 2x4 and the extra piece of 1x2. I wanted a little extra on the corners and edges because I tend to sand through. It's been about an hour and 20 minutes. I've got my clear mixed up. I've got the exhaust fan on. I've got the airbrush all ready to go, and I got my mask. So I'm going to spray a nice heavy coat of clear on here and then pour the glitter and then start coating it with the clear. As always, you get quite a bit on the floor. Well, that's pretty good. Start spraying some clear on it, seal it up. Alright, gonna let that set about a half an hour. Alright, ready for another coat of clear. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get one coat out of what I got left or two. I had enough clear in the airbrush to get one more coat on it. Looks like that's enough to have sealed it up pretty good. Sorry folks, it's about 100 degrees in my shop today and I just didn't feel like being on camera. I worked all day from 6 to 2:30 and then as soon as I got home I started sanding this neck so I could get this glitter on it. Now I didn't put it on as thick as I did on the front of the headstock, and it's a darker green. I just wanted to get some on there, but I got it on a little bit thicker than I did on the Solo V. So I think it looks pretty cool. The back of the body is going to be like that too. I sprayed a whole bunch of coats of clear on this. It's looking pretty good. It's kind of smooth. It's going to take a little bit of sanding, but the green's really neat. You can see the texture there. That's the back side, the dark green. It really looks neat in person. I wish you could see it as good as I can, but the camera just don't do it. And then there's the front, the brighter green. It's going to look pretty cool, but like I said, you just can't really tell with the camera.